Have you ever found yourself waking up at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling in the dark, wondering why your body jolted awake just as the world went quiet? It's a moment so many seniors experience, yet few talk about. That haunting middle of the night. Wake up isn't just a quirk of aging. It might be your body whispering a deeper message about your health. Research shows that as we age, our internal clock, the circadian rhythm, starts to shift. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, decreases, and cortisol, your stress hormone, can spike earlier than it used to. This can create a false morning around 3 a.m., where your body thinks it's time to wake, even though your mind knows it's not. Add in nighttime bathroom trips, blood sugar dips, or joint discomfort, and you've got the perfect storm. One of my patients, John, 72, told me he thought he was just getting old, until he realized his blood sugar was dipping due to a carb-heavy dinner. A simple diet shift gave him back his peaceful nights. So ask yourself, is your body trying to tell you something when it wakes you at 3 a.m.? Another common culprit behind this 3 a.m. awakening is something we often don't associate with sleep at all: the liver. As we get older, the liver's overnight detox cycle can become sluggish, especially if we've been eating late, drinking alcohol in the evenings, or taking multiple medications. Traditional Chinese medicine even connects the liver's active detox phase to the hours between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. One woman I worked with, Linda, 68, kept waking up like clockwork at 2:45 a.m. every night. We adjusted her evening meals, added more leafy greens during the day to support her liver, and moved her last meal to 6 p.m. Within a week, she was sleeping through the night. The body always gives us signals. Are we listening? Now let's talk about anxiety. It doesn't always look like racing thoughts or panic attacks. For older adults, nighttime anxiety can feel like restlessness in the chest, tight breathing, or just a sense of unease. And for many, that feeling hits hardest around 3 a.m., when the world is still and you're alone with your thoughts. The brain, without daytime distractions, begins sorting unresolved feelings. A widower named Tom shared with me that he didn't even know he was anxious until he noticed that 3 a.m. always brought memories of his late wife, unpaid bills, and fears about the future. We began simple breathing exercises before bed and used magnesium to calm his nervous system. Slowly, the night became less of a battleground and more of a place of peace. If 3 a.m. wakes you up with worry, maybe your heart just wants to be heard. This is Senior Strength, your calm guide for stronger legs, better balance, and a healthy life after 60. Subscribe if you're ready to feel confident in your body again. And tell us in the comments, what time do you usually wake up in the middle of the night? Let's not forget the role of light. Our sleep hormone, melatonin, is deeply sensitive to light exposure. Yet many seniors spend their days indoors, away from natural daylight, and evenings glued to the blue light of TV or tablet screens. This sends mixed signals to the brain, confusing day and night. A retired teacher named Clara told me she hadn't seen the morning sun in months, especially during winter. We encouraged her to take a 15-minute walk before 10 a.m. every day. That natural light reset her sleep clock. Within 2 weeks, her 3 a.m. awakenings disappeared. Sometimes, better sleep starts in the morning. Pain is another quiet thief of sleep. Joint inflammation, restless legs, back stiffness. All of these can simmer unnoticed during the day, but flare up when you're still in bed. One of the most common but under-discussed causes of 3 a.m. wake-ups in seniors is simply this: pain. Not loud, screaming pain, but a dull ache in the hips, a numbing in the legs, a stiffness in the lower back. Paul, 75, said he never thought his old tennis injuries were the cause of his broken sleep. But once he started using a body pillow to align his spine and added turmeric to his diet, his pain lessened, and so did those early morning wake-ups. Your sleep is only as good as your comfort. Bladder urgency is also a huge factor. With age, the bladder becomes more sensitive, and the hormone that controls nighttime urine production declines. This means more bathroom trips at night, and often, once you're up at 3 a.m., it's hard to fall back asleep. One strategy that helps is gently reducing fluid intake 2 hours before bed and avoiding caffeine or alcohol in the evening. Another is strengthening the pelvic floor muscles, which can help reduce urgency. Exercises like gentle Kegels, or leg. Bridges, done regularly, can make a world of difference. You deserve uninterrupted rest. Don't let your bladder steal it. Some people wake at 3 a.m. and feel completely alert, almost too alert. This could be a sign of a cortisol imbalance. Cortisol should be highest in the early morning and lowest at night. But chronic stress flips this rhythm. One man I worked with, Henry, 70, always woke up with a racing heart at 3:30 a.m. After running some tests, we found his cortisol was spiking too early. The solution? Calming rituals in the evening, like lavender tea, deep breathing, and journaling before bed. We also used ashwagandha, a natural herb that supports adrenal balance. After 3 weeks, Henry reported sleeping until 5:30 a.m. for the first time in years. Sometimes your body isn't broken, it's just on the wrong schedule. And sometimes the reason is emotional. Aging brings many changes: retirement, loss, loneliness, a quiet house. These feelings don't always come out during the day. They wait until you're alone with yourself. I remember Martha, 66, who told me that 3 a.m. was the only time she felt completely honest with herself. That's when the memories came, the regrets, the missed opportunities. Sleep disruption, in her case, was grief in disguise. Together, we honored those feelings instead of suppressing them. She began writing letters to her past self, one each night before bed. Over time, the pain softened and the sleep deepened. Your 3 a.m. wake-up might not be a problem to fix. It might be a truth to face. Even your bedroom environment can work against you. Temperature, for instance, plays a critical role in sleep. The body needs to cool slightly to stay asleep, but many seniors bundle up too tightly or keep the thermostat high. Night sweats from medications or hormonal changes can also spike body temperature, prompting a sudden 3 a.m. awakening. Switching to breathable bedding, lowering the room temperature a few degrees, or using a fan can be surprisingly powerful. Small shifts create big changes. Let's talk about sugar. Evening snacks that seem harmless: cookies, toast, fruit juice, can cause your blood sugar to spike and crash, often leading to a 3 a.m. low that wakes you with hunger or anxiety. One gentleman I advised, Doug, used to eat a banana before bed, thinking it was healthy. But that simple sugar sent his insulin on a roller coaster. We swapped it for a protein-rich Greek yogurt. He didn't just sleep better, he also woke with more energy. What you eat at night echoes through your sleep. Are you feeding rest or restlessness? Breathing patterns also shift with age. Many seniors develop sleep apnea without realizing it. The soft tissues in the throat relax more, interrupting airflow and waking the brain repeatedly. If you wake at 3 a.m. gasping, snoring, or with a dry mouth, this could be your body begging for more oxygen. Sleep studies or even simple at-home monitors can help diagnose it. And treatment, like CPAP, weight loss, or even side sleeping, can transform both sleep and heart health. Don't ignore your breath. It's your life rhythm. Let's not forget how powerful routine can be. Many older adults find themselves napping during the day, watching TV late at night, or eating at inconsistent hours, all of which confuse the body clock. When your schedule is irregular, your brain no longer knows when it's safe to fully rest. Creating a soothing, predictable wind-down routine, dim lights, light stretching, herbal tea, tells the brain it's time to let go. Over time, consistency becomes medicine. This journey isn't just about sleeping longer. It's about waking up feeling restored. And that begins with understanding that 3 a.m. is not the enemy. It's an invitation. An invitation to tune in, to nourish your nervous system, to comfort your heart, and to gently guide your body back into balance. Many of the seniors I've worked with have turned their nights around, not with sleeping pills, but with awareness, habit shifts, and care. So let's recap what we've explored together. Waking up at 3 a.m. isn't just about aging. It can be about blood sugar dips, cortisol shifts, nighttime anxiety, liver detox, unresolved grief, joint pain, bladder function, bedroom temperature, sleep apnea, or even loneliness. It's your body trying to talk to you in the only language it has: patterns. And if you listen closely, those wake-ups can lead to healing. If you found value in today's video, let us know in the comments. What helps you fall back asleep when you wake up in the middle of the night? And if you haven't already, subscribe to Senior Strength. Because this channel isn't just about better health. It's about deeper peace, stronger confidence, and giving you back control over how you feel each day. You are not broken. You are shifting. And every night, yes, even at 3 a.m., is a chance to come home to yourself. Sleep well and take care of that beautiful body. You've earned it. There's a reason why so many spiritual traditions across the world consider the hours between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. as sacred. Some call it the hour of the soul. Others call it the veil between worlds. But to those who are living through it, not philosophizing, it just feels like loneliness. That moment when the rest of the world is quiet and only you are awake can be one of the most profound and vulnerable spaces you'll ever stand in. For seniors, especially those who live alone or have lost a spouse, 3 a.m. doesn't just wake the body. It wakes the heart. One woman, Diana, age 74, told me that every night she wakes at 3:12 a.m. and immediately feels the presence of her late husband. It's not scary, it's soothing. She said, "It's like he checks in on me." At first, she thought it was imagination. But over time, she began to welcome those quiet moments. She kept a journal on her nightstand and began writing letters to him. Her anxiety around sleep disappeared. Her quality of rest improved. Sometimes, what wakes us isn't a problem, it's connection. Is it possible that your 3 a.m. awakening isn't a disturbance, but a doorway? Still, for many, the body speaks louder than the soul. Hormonal shifts play a massive role in how we sleep after 60. For women, the decline in estrogen after menopause can affect serotonin and melatonin, the two major hormones responsible for regulating sleep cycles. For men, a gradual decline in testosterone can lead to increased fatigue during the day and shallower sleep at night. These hormonal transitions can create a sensitivity to light, sound, stress, even temperature. One couple I worked with began sleeping separately, not out of resentment, but love. They found that honoring their individual needs allowed both of them to sleep better. It's okay to change what once worked. Your sleep is sacred. Let's not ignore inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like a fire smoldering silently in the background. It doesn't always hurt. It doesn't always shout. But it interrupts the deepest stages of sleep. That's why seniors with arthritis, diabetes, heart disease, or digestive issues often report waking at 3 a.m. Inflammation triggers the body's stress response, even while sleeping. That stress response floods your system with cortisol and adrenaline, hormones that should be low at night. That's what pulls you out of deep rest. But the answer doesn't always lie in more medication. Often, anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, wild-caught salmon, green tea, and blueberries, combined with gentle movement like Tai Chi or evening walks, can begin to cool that fire. What if your sleep issue is actually an inflammation issue in disguise? Breath is the most underappreciated medicine we have. Most seniors don't realize that the way they breathe, especially at night, can mean the difference between deep, healing rest and fragmented sleep. Mouth breathing, for instance, dries out the airways, increases the risk of snoring and apnea, and prevents full oxygen exchange. Nasal breathing, on the other hand, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest side of your body. I once taught a woman named Marlene, 69, to simply tape her lips closed gently at night with a small piece of medical tape, forcing her to breathe through her nose. It sounded silly to her at first, but after just 3 nights, her 3 a.m. awakenings were gone. Sometimes, better sleep doesn't require a pill, it just requires your breath. Now let's talk about the gut. The gut-brain axis is a powerful two-way street. If your digestion is off, your sleep will suffer. Constipation, gas, bloating, reflux. All of these conditions can trigger discomfort during the early morning hours. What's more, the gut produces over 90% of your serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin. If your gut bacteria are out of balance, your sleep hormones will be too. One senior I worked with, David, was waking every night at 3 a.m. with no pain, but always felt groggy and low in energy. We added a probiotic, removed dairy from his diet, and increased his fiber intake. Within 3 weeks, he began sleeping through the night. Heal the gut, and you heal the rhythm. Now I want to talk about a quiet epidemic, loneliness. After the age of 60, many people experience a subtle, creeping feeling that no one really understands what they're going through. Children grow up. Spouses pass. Friendships thin out. And at 3 a.m., when the phone won't ring and no one is knocking on your door, that loneliness becomes physical. It's not just emotional. Studies show that loneliness increases cortisol, impairs immune function, and leads to fragmented sleep. But here's the hope. Connection heals. Even small doses. A morning walk with a neighbor. A Zoom call with a grandchild. Volunteering once a week. I saw this with Arthur, who joined a gardening club at 71. He said, "I don't wake up at 3 a.m. anymore. I'm tired from laughing." Don't underestimate the healing power of belonging. Some people wake up at 3 a.m. with a pounding heart, even though there's no danger. This is often linked to blood sugar instability. When your blood sugar drops too low, the body releases adrenaline and cortisol to raise it back up. That surge can feel like anxiety, but it's just your body trying to protect your brain from starving. If you notice shakiness, sweating, or hunger alongside your 3 a.m. wake-up, try eating a protein-rich snack before bed, like a boiled egg or a spoonful of almond butter. That small change can stabilize your blood sugar and give your nervous system permission to rest. The brain is a demanding organ. Feed it well. Medications are another overlooked cause. Many drugs commonly prescribed to seniors, like beta blockers, antidepressants, and diuretics, can interfere with the body's sleep-wake cycle. Some delay melatonin production. Others increase urination. And some suppress REM sleep entirely. I had a patient named Brenda who spent 2 years waking at 3 a.m. before we discovered her blood pressure meds were the culprit. With her doctor's supervision, she adjusted the timing of her dose, and the problem vanished. Never assume you have to live with poor sleep. Sometimes, the answer is already in your medicine cabinet. Then there's the spiritual side. Some seniors describe their 3 a.m. awakenings as moments of insight, of clarity. They report vivid dreams, deep thoughts, sudden inspirations. If this is you, consider keeping a notebook by your bed. What if your mind is offering you something sacred? A message? A memory? A healing? One man, Joseph, 76, began writing poetry at 3 a.m., something he hadn't done since his teenage years. What began as frustration became a ritual of beauty. He told me, I stopped fighting it. I started listening. Could your 3 a.m. wake-up be a gift in disguise? Let's circle back to movement. The less you move during the day, the more restless your body becomes at night. Seniors who spend too much time sitting often find that their body doesn't feel tired in a satisfying way. It feels agitated. Gentle exercise, like stretching, walking, swimming, or chair yoga, increases endorphins, lowers cortisol, improves circulation, and supports lymphatic drainage, all of which promote deeper, more continuous sleep. The body needs to feel useful. Purpose isn't just a feeling. It's a movement. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary. Yet for many, it's become a place of frustration. Technology, TVs, phones, bright clocks, can emit artificial light that tells the brain it's still daytime. Even the wrong pillow or mattress can activate pain points that interrupt sleep. One woman, Agnes, 70, swapped her synthetic pillow for a buckwheat one and finally stopped waking up with neck pain. Another man installed blackout curtains and found himself dreaming again for the first time in years. You don't need to redesign your house. Just create one room that feels like a soft, quiet hug. Your sleep deserves a sacred space. As we age, we also carry more stories in our bodies. Trauma doesn't always scream. Sometimes, it shows up as restlessness. Waking at 3 a.m. can be a nervous system still on alert from old wounds, emotional or physical. Gentle somatic work, like body scanning, tapping, EFT, or even humming, can calm the vagus nerve and bring the system back to safety. I had one client, Frances, who survived a car accident in her 30s. At 67, she was still waking at the same hour the crash happened. Once we acknowledged that and began gentle trauma release work, her sleep shifted. The body remembers, but it can also release. Even hydration matters. Dehydration can cause muscle cramps, headaches, and dry mouth, all of which can wake you at night. But drinking too much water late in the evening can make you wake to urinate. The key is balance. Hydrate well during the day, especially with mineral-rich fluids like herbal teas or a pinch of salt in your water, and then taper off in the evening. Hydration isn't just about how much you drink, it's about when and what you drink. The journey to better sleep after 60 isn't about fixing yourself. It's about understanding yourself. Every night, your body is trying to communicate with you. Through wake-ups, through restlessness, through dreams, through sighs. You are not broken. You are wise. And your body, even in the darkness, is always leading you back toward healing. If you've made it this far, thank you. You are the reason this channel exists. Senior strength isn't just about legs and balance. It's about restoring your relationship with your body, with your mind, with sleep. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel at peace. You deserve to rest like someone who has lived and earned every bit of calm that night can offer. If this video gave you comfort or insight, please share your story in the comments. When do you wake up, and what do you think your body is trying to tell you? And subscribe to Senior Strength so we can walk this path together, one breath, one night, one healing sleep at a time. Now close your eyes and listen. Your body knows the way home. So if you've been waking up at 3 a.m., night after night, wondering if something is wrong with you, please hear this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, your body may be working perfectly, trying to send you messages you've never had time or peace to notice before. Your hormones, your heart, your gut, your soul, they're not broken. They're whispering. And if you learn to listen without fear, sleep starts to return, not just as rest, but as a deep renewal. This is what we do here at Senior Strength. We don't just talk about symptoms. We explore the wisdom behind them. We believe that age is not an enemy. It's your most honest teacher. And you, yes you, are still learning, still growing, still healing, even at night, even at 3 a.m. If this message brought you peace, clarity, or even just a new way of thinking, I invite you, gently, to subscribe to Senior Strength. Not out of pressure, but out of care. Because every week, we share videos that are calm, doctor-like, and rich. With compassion, from your knees to your gut to your mind and beyond. This is your place to come home to your body again. And now I ask you, quietly, have you ever woken up at 3 a.m. and felt like something deeper was calling you? If so, tell me in the comments. I read every single one. You never know who will feel less alone because you shared your story. Until next time, remember, your body is not failing you. Your sleep is not lost. And the night is not your enemy. It's your invitation. This is Senior Strength. And you are stronger, wiser, and more capable than anyone ever told you. Rest easy tonight. We'll see you again soon.